Hello and welcome back to another episode of Helper. Today we are going to talk about overcoming perfectionism. And we are also going to talk about how to embrace imperfection to achieve more. Okay, perfectionism. This trait that on the surface might seem like a strength, but often becomes an invisible weight holding us back. How many of us catch ourselves stressing over the tiniest details or delaying projects because we don't think they are perfect yet? Perfectionism can really be a double edged sword, and that's what we are getting into today. How to recognize it, manage it, and maybe even use it in a way that's productive, not paralyzing. So, let's start with the basics. What is perfectionism really? A lot of people think of it as a simple desire to do things well, but it's actually more than that. It's about an intense need to avoid mistakes, criticism, or failure. At its core, perfectionism is about trying to be flawless, which, as you can imagine, is an impossible task. And this often leads us to set standards that are so high they are either impossible or exhausting to reach. Studies have shown that perfectionism isn't just a personality trait. It's actually linked to higher levels of anxiety, depression, and burnout. Why? Because when you're in a constant battle to meet unrealistic expectations, you're bound to feel defeated. There's even a term for the harmful side of this: maladaptive perfectionism. This is the kind that makes us abandon projects if they don't seem quote unquote good enough or criticize ourselves harshly for tiny mistakes. Now, why do we fall into this perfectionist trap? And by the way, out of all the episodes we have recorded yet, this one hits home for me because I still suffer from this. I have suffered from this a lot and I still do. So, if you are on a similar boat, I feel you and I really hope this one helps you. So, we were talking about the perfectionist trap. How do we fall into it? It starts in childhood. Maybe we received praise for good grades or felt loved when we achieved something big. Over time, we begin to believe that our worth is tied to how well we perform. Society reinforces this too, with social media highlighting everyone's perfect moments and successes. What's crucial to understand is that perfectionism doesn't just make us more productive or better at what we do. In fact, it can slow us down, keeping us stuck in endless cycles of self criticism and doubt. For instance, think about a reporter project you have worked on. Okay. How many times have you gone back to fix it, to get it just a little better, only to lose hours in tiny details? So, if perfectionism isn't helping us, what's the alternative? Embracing imperfection. Now I know that can sound uncomfortable, especially if you're used to holding yourself to high standards like me. But embracing imperfection doesn't mean doing things poorly. Instead, it means understanding that sometimes good enough really is good enough. Here's an example. Thomas Edison famously said, "I haven't failed. I have found 10,000 ways that won't work." He didn't wait for things to be perfect before trying again. Embracing imperfection means recognizing that progress is better than paralysis. And that real growth comes from the willingness to make mistakes, learn, and move forward. Let's dive into some practical strategies to manage perfectionism. Number one, set realistic goals. Start by lowering your standards to something achievable. You can still aim high, but it's essential to check in with yourself and ask, is this expectation realistic or am I setting myself up for stress? Number two, practice self compassion. Studies show that self compassion, treating yourself with the same kindness you would show a friend, actually boosts resilience and productivity. When you make a mistake, try speaking to yourself with encouragement rather than criticism, and that will change a lot of things for you. Number three, focus on the big picture. Ask yourself, will this small detail matter in a week, a month, a year? The simple question helps shift the focus from tiny flaws to what really counts. Number four, set time limits for tasks. This one is so important. Perfectionism can make us lose hours trying to perfect every little thing. Instead, give yourself a reasonable amount of time and commit to finishing. It's amazing how much more we accomplish when we have boundaries. Number five, accept compliments and successes. And oh my God, this took me forever to learn. Perfectionists often dismiss their own achievements. Try acknowledging what you have done well, even if it feels uncomfortable. Recognize your successes can help break the cycle of feeling like nothing is ever, quote unquote, good enough. Okay, remember, failure is part of the process. Every single mistake you make is one step closer to where you want to be. Shifting your mindset can transform perfectionism from a barrier into a pathway for growth. Instead of aiming to be flawless, aim to be a work in progress. When you allow yourself to grow and learn from mistakes, you achieve so much more and with a lot less stress. Before we close, I want to remind you that embracing imperfection is a journey. It won't happen overnight, and if you're looking for a supportive community, Helper is here to help. Helper offers personalized content, challenges, and even peer mentorship programs designed to support your mental health journey. Sometimes a little extra encouragement and a safe space can make all the difference. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Remember, overcoming perfectionism isn't about lowering your standards, it's about freeing yourself from the endless pursuit of flawlessness. Embrace progress, embrace imperfection, and watch how much you can truly achieve. Until next time, take care of yourself. Bye.